Good morning, y'all, y buenos dias. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about the 20 things that 2020 taught us. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. All right, so before I get started on my list, I wanted to clarify that these are things that we probably should have known a long ass time ago, and that's not to say that this is in any order. And that's not to say that we really learned these. It's more 2020 really emphasized these. Again, these are things that we probably should have known a really long time ago. Number one, UBIs are looking a lot less radical now, huh? So universal basic income. It seems like a very current type thing, but it's actually been talked about for quite a long time. And now with, this whole pandemic situation, so many more countries are thinking that this might be the future that we'll be moving to. Number two, universal health care. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Number three, being alone is very different from being lonely. These times have been really tough on all of us, and in particularly people who are, more susceptible to these illnesses. And so feeling isolated has been a huge issue. But I think that a lot of us have learned the difference between being alone and being lonely, and all of the different ways that we can still interact with one another, even through all of these quarantine times. Number four, rest is crucial. We as Western living people have this ingrained idea of more is more, more work, more productivity. And we always tend to forget how important rest is. And I think that 2020 just smacked the hell out of us and told us that rest is critical. Number five, universal healthcare. Again, it's that important. Number six, ableism has forced disabled folks out of spaces that now are more accessible because everything is virtual, because able-bodied people were benefiting from it. And I think that that's just a huge awakening for a lot of people, especially people with privilege like myself, who I am able-bodied and have always had access to these spaces, and just realizing how inconsistent we are with our openness to have and host and be accommodating to people with a variety of disabilities. Number seven, don't give anyone or anything your time and energy. I think that this was a huge message that we got this year was, a lot of the time we're giving our time and energy to things and people who truly don't deserve our energy, right? It's just kind of disheartening sometimes to realize that the people who you have been giving energy to, or the project that you had been giving energy to, is not reciprocating that love and energy back to you. And so just being very aware of where your energy and time is going is just very important during these times. Number eight, kind of going off of number seven there, is do what you love. Spend time and energy with things that you truly enjoy doing, with people that you love. Now more than ever, we are very aware of the fact that, our time here is precious, and we have to do with it what we truly want and feel the urge to, and by all means, live your most authentic self. Number nine, Black Lives Matter. Yesterday, today, and always. This is a message that as a non-Black person, we should have been listening and advocating alongside all of the Black men, women, transgender folk, non-binary people who have been screaming this message to us about dismantling white supremacy, about dismantling anti-Blackness within our communities. And now is the time. It has always been the time, but goddamn, is it the time right now to be putting in the work, to be putting in the effort into making actual changes. Number 10, slow down and be intentional. I think that myself personally, I am a lister, so I love making lists. I have lists all in my notebook, in my phone, and so to me, I'm just trying to tick them off. I'm trying to feel productive. I'm trying to feel like I'm, getting things done. But at the end of the day, I sometimes lose my intention. I sometimes lose my presence in whatever it is that I'm doing because I'm just trying to get to the next thing. And so 2020 really made me sit down and realize that a lot of the things that I was doing because I was doing them. You get what I'm saying? And not exactly because I was pouring my heart into it. And so a huge lesson for me is to take off things off of my to-do list and really be more intentional and present with the things that I am doing. Number 11, do not let social media make you feel inadequate. You cannot look at some curated squares on somebody's life and think that that is the epitome of what their life really looks like. And that goes for anyone. It doesn't matter if they're, got millions of followers or someone with a couple of followers. The same message is clear. It's you can't take those pictures and really truly believe that that's their reality. These are curated squares for a reason. People make it as an artistic expression. People, they have all of these reasons why we do these things. But at the end of the day, there is no comparing. You cannot understand the depth and the wide range of events that are going on in this person's life just by seeing one picture every once in a while. Number 12, and this also kind of goes off of number 11, is be mindful of what you consume, whether that is food, whether that is drink, whether that is television, whether that's YouTube videos, whether that's an Instagram account. Be mindful of what it is that you're consuming because it alters your perception of your own reality. And so if you are surrounding yourself with whether it's media or whatever it is, of these ideals of consumerism and these ideals of unrealistic beauty standards or standards that are not those of your own, you will get this skewed perception and find yourself feeling not good enough, find yourself feeling, inadequate, when in reality you're comparing yourself that, you don't even do that. There's no point in comparing yourself in any of these senses. And so be very mindful of what it is that you're bringing in because that changes how you see what's out. Number 13, 2020 has taught us that corporations see human lives and the life of the planet as disposable. And that is a fact that has been going on for a long time, but I think that we really got awoken to that idea that they truly do see our resources and our people as completely disposable. Number 14, nature is sacred. And we should be so aware of that every moment of every day. And especially during these times where we have been so isolated, it is so important for us to be in nature as much as we can, to the capacity that we can, to ground ourselves, to touch running water. All of these things are so vital to our human psyche. And I know that these times have been so much harder for so many of us for so many reasons, but I think that nature always calls us in and always pulls us in, and that is for a reason. Number 15, allow yourself to feel. Let me say that again. Allow yourself to feel. We're always pushing away our emotions one way or another because they make us uncomfortable, because we don't want to feel them, but we have to feel them. We are human beings. We were gifted with this magic of feelings, of these wide range of emotions. And when you're feeling sad, you have to feel that in order to process it. And so we must remember that we're feeling these emotions. We are not these emotions. And so being mindful, being present, and understanding that these emotions will pass, but at the same time that it is extremely healthy for us to feel them and move through them. Number 16, it is a privilege to count on stability. We have been so lucky and we are so privileged that we did not lose our homes during this time, that we did not lose our car during this time. This is something that so many people have gone through, and we're so privileged to have had that. And so I think that 2020 really made us sit and recognize those privileges, whether it is healthcare, whether it is a vehicle, whether it is childcare, all of these things that so many people don't have. We have to sit and recognize those privileges in order for us to make grand change. Number 17, give yourself credit. You're capable. This is something that has just been a booming idea during these times. Unfortunate that we had to learn it during an entire pandemic, but it's so amazing and beautiful seeing all of these different people from different walks of life who have learned incredible skills because they had the time to do so. So one of my beautiful and best friends, Lindsay, managed to change her entire plumbing in her bathroom, which otherwise, she really wouldn't have done. She would have just hired someone. But this time she was able to look up videos and, figure it all out herself. And she really was able to say, you know what, I really can do this. Number 18, our perception changes our reality. And I know that sounds super hippy-dippy, but let's just talk about it for a second. If you wake up and you're in a shit mood, most likely the rest of your day is just gonna seem like a huge bummer. But when you wake up and you're just like, wow, today's gonna be awesome, you are able to see all of the awesomeness that happened in that day, even if both of those days are exactly the same. And so that's why we have to keep in mind of our perception and how that really does change how we see our world. And so that doesn't mean you have to be positive and good vibes all the time. That just means you have to be aware of how it is that you see the world. Number 19, accept help. I have to learn this so much because I'm the type of person who wants to do everything myself. I want to be able to get it done and have my name on it instead of delegating any sort of work. And that's something that I really had to learn this year is I don't have to do it on my own. I don't have to put everything on my own back. I am able to count on community to help me. And number 20, self-love is freedom. And that is a quote from my beautiful friend Amanda. And that is just so pure and so raw. And what more could we have learned this year than loving ourselves is the most vital thing that we can do in order to make the world a better place. I mean, just loving yourself can change every aspect of our reality. And that is the note that I want to leave on. Self-love is liberation. Self-love is everything. And y'all, this year has been intense, to say the least. But I am so proud of each and every one of you who made it this far. I know that we have lost people. We have lost so much this year. And it is our job to love ourselves and to keep pushing forward and to do the best that we can with the resources that we can, with the capacity that we can to make this the world that we all want to live in. That is it for today's video. As always, if y'all have any comments or questions, head over to my Instagram. That's for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.